Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Thank you for the invitation. It's a great honor for us to have been signing this partnership agreement. So I will give you some background information about R20 and try to see what is our vision to, I would say, put into synergies our respective strengths, values, and networks. So R20, so we are a NGO which is based in Geneva, and it has been created by Arnold Schwarzenegger. I mean, there is no need to present him. The issue was after his second mandate as governor, where he was able to put the eighth powerful economy of the world, California, on green track, 40% more energy efficiency than the whole US, 20% of renewable energy, and many projects, including the 1 million solar roof, the hydrogen highway, and so on. So the whole idea was how we could use this expertise, this experience in terms of policies, in terms of technology, in terms of research, in terms of finance, available for other parts of the world. So we started to think about in 2010, and then we started the real work in 2012. So what is our niche compared to a number of network of cities, network of regions, or network of companies, or network of finance? The whole issue was how you can connect the dots between policymakers, which are a mayor, which are a head of the states, a governor, elsewhere in the world, to transform his policy into a portfolio of projects. And as you know, Schwarzenegger is an action man. He wants things, not blah blah speech. He wants to do real stuff on the ground. So how you connect the sub-national authorities with their policies, identify what kind of portfolio of project they can build upon the need through partnership process, and this is what we have heard yesterday, and to access them to the right technologies, the technology that will respond to their needs. So our work, it is to connect them with a number of private companies who do have the products, who do have the service, and to build trust between those two. So to really make them work together and come out with a nice project through feasibility studies. It's just not an idea. You have to go through business model. You have to go through a number of issues in terms of policies, studying tariff, when it comes to renewable energy and so on. So our work, it is to connect those two worlds together. But at the end of the day, you need money to implement those projects. So then we, thanks to the feasibility studies where we know what kind of return on investment, what kind of equity debt ratio that you can have, the appetite of a number of investors, whether they are public or private, we bring them to these places with those projects and see how they can put the money in. So our work there, it is really to, I would say, reduce the perception of risk when you go for green projects in emerging and developing countries. So this is really our niche, connect the dots between policies, finance, and technologies. And to do that, we do go for capacity building, and we go for training about subnational authorities for them to better know what are the proper policies or proper technologies on the proper finance. And then when we have identified and go for all those feasibility studies, we go to secure the finance. So this is really our work. So for the last 3 years, we wanted to demonstrate, and we are not here to, I would say, save the world. We are here to demonstrate how we can reiterate, replicate, scale up what has been done in California and some other places. So we have worked in different technologies, mainly on LED street light, on energy building efficiency, and renewable energy, such as solar power system, and last but not least about waste management. And we have done that in a number of countries, for example in Brazil, where we have been able to build up an ESCO for municipalities of Brazil to access and to deploy LED street light. The same thing with Philips in Senegal. We just signed an agreement last week with Philips in order to implement a 50,000 solar LED system within Senegal cities. In Oran, we have worked with the second city of Algeria, with an agreement of the government of Algeria, which is facing tremendous problem with their waste, knowing that Algeria is both on demographic increase very high. It has now a pattern of consumption which is not far from Europe, and they have absolutely nothing to, I would say, to recycle their waste, to collect their waste, to make a problem becoming an opportunity. So we have been contracted to help the city of Oran in order to bring them the expertise, to train the people to do, I would say, household waste sorting, then to select this waste, then to turn out into, I would say, plastic waste, bio waste, paper waste, so that you can have small companies start to develop their own recycling, I would say, process. So this is being done also in Algeria, where now we have a 500 million project undertaking for large-scale replication. So the whole issue it is how from those different projects that we have already now in place, including early this year in China, in the municipality of Shenzhen, to see how we can use those waste for, I would say, economy leveraging and social aspect in terms of creating jobs and, of course, less environmental impact. So, based on the idea that we have a project, the idea that we can make feasibility studies with business model of interest of everyone, and do secure the funding for implementation, the whole issue now it is how you can replicate that at larger scale in order that not just only 5 cities around the world can benefit this portfolio of projects, but really to replicate it within those cities and within those countries, about the 500, I would say, affiliate members we have all over the world. So right now we are building what we call an ecosystem of blending finance, where philanthropic money can start up, as we have done with R20, build a pre-investment facility. The first one will be in Africa, West Africa, where we have been able to set up the first 50 megawatt solar project in Mali in order to go for a 1 gigawatt initiative for Western Africa. And there is 2 bottlenecks mainly. The first one is you need to have capacity building. You need to have those staff within municipalities, within region, within state, to know what we are talking about. What is a pro-green policy? What are the proper technologies? What are the finance opportunities, the finance mechanisms to be put in place? So this is the first issue. So we are working with the United System to build up a global training and capacity building program on those 3 pillars. And the third one, it is to establish what we call a pre-investment facility, where there is money available to help the private sector, to help those experts coming from, I would say, northern countries, to go in those cities and to help train those people, but more important, to accompany them to do the feasibility studies, up to having a bankable project to be put on the table on investors, pension funds, private equities, development banks, which they are all dying to have good projects to invest in, because the return investment in those countries can be very high. And I can tell you the Mali project, for example, it is 15% return investment for an exit of 9 years. The project that we have in Oran, it's 20% return investment. So this is quite a lot of money, but you have to secure this investment. So the whole idea to have this pre-investment facility, having money available in order to do these feasibility studies, whereby you can go to private equity, build up escrows, and those people being able to put their money on 20, 30, 40% equity, which then unlock the loans which are accessible through the regular public loan institutions. So what is our vision and why have we signed this partnership agreement this morning? Mainly because what we have seen today, what we have seen the last year with these different events that you are organizing, there is a pool of expertise in Germany, a pool of companies in Germany, which is extremely interesting for us in order to bring those experts back to a number of developing countries in order to access this market. So the whole idea is how we can have a number of seminars or training events like this one, where we bring decision makers from developing countries, see what's going on over here, what are the opportunities, match, I would say, the demand with the offer, with a number of, I would say, cities, companies from Germany, and then being able to bring the expertise in those countries to do the training over there, to do the feasibility studies, and then to open, I would say, additional market. So which is a win-win-win situation. It's a win, obviously, for us doing our job. It's a win for those countries who can have access to those technologies, and it is win to those companies in Germany who can have access those different technologies. So Schwarzenegger is here as our, I would say, more than a hero. He spent some of his time when he's not shooting movies like Terminator this year, but he can go, thanks to his, I would say, well-known I would say influence over the world, to meet key people like Barroso, like Feynman, like Hollande last year, for which he will play a role for COP21, for which we will develop this kind of, I would say, new partnership where we can have a real synergy between policymakers, technology deployers and investors, which are, we do believe, working too much in silos. Maybe not here because it might be business as usual for you. You are, I would say, it's a kind of normal habit to have all those partners working together. This is, when you see this kind of gathering, is something that you are used to, but when you speak about Northern Africa, about Southern Africa, about Brazil, even about China, you don't have this kind of spiritual way of working all together. So we are looking forward by the next weeks and months to build this new opportunities market and to build this new partnership with you. So thank you very much. It is still green night, but I didn't want to take too much time, which is precious for you to continue. Thank you.